Hey, my lovely YouTubers, it's me, Morgan Tracy J, coming from my car, and I want to quickly give you guys a word on the power of the Holy Spirit. You know, I know a lot of, if you're someone of the Christian faith, you're someone that, wants to walk with God, then you automatically know what the Holy Spirit is. But I think a lot of us feel as if the Holy Spirit is more powerful than other people, than in us. There was times in the beginning of my walk where I felt like when people would talk about the voice of God and all this, I always felt like that they had something that I didn't have. But that wasn't the case at all. It's not, they just knew how to utilize what they had. They knew how to acknowledge what they had. Now, I want to tell you, if you're a born again Christian, then what you have is the Holy Spirit. Also, too, you need to understand everything that happens today is through the power of the Holy Spirit. So when we walk and we see miracles and when we get transformed in lives, that is the work of the Holy Spirit. What is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is the Spirit of God. How can you examine or know when the Holy Spirit is active in your life? It tells us in the Word to know the Spirit by the fruit. There's a spirit of the fruit. Now, if you're out here cussing people out and you've short-tempered and you just are, and this isn't random for you, like this is really just like this is just really you. If you looked up and you're the same person you was 6 months to a year ago, then that means the Holy Spirit is in you, but it's not active. It's not ignited. I want to tell you, we can grieve the Holy Spirit. That just means the Holy Spirit may say, hey, girl, please don't go do that. Hey, girl, you know that is not right. Hey, girl, you know that it's wrong to be gossiping like that. But we don't listen to it. We push that away. And then we keep saying, why is the God so much more active in their life versus mine? But it's a lot of times because we don't incline our ear. It's because we grieve it. It's because we don't even focus on it. And we don't even acknowledge the spirit of the fruit, and we don't even acknowledge our own personal fruit. Not saying we're going to be perfect, but when the Holy Spirit gets attacked, when the Holy Spirit gets ignited in you, there are parts of you that have to change. There are things about you that is no more, and it's not even through your own strength. It's through the grace and the power of the Holy Spirit. I want to tell you, if somebody looks upon my life and looks at me from 5 years ago to now, they are probably like, whoa. But even if I look back from 6 months ago to the woman I am now, I even see a transition to a year ago. We are supposed to be changing. We have a transformational God that has a transformational love. And so the Holy Spirit is here to interpret to us the ideas, the understanding, the revelation, everything of God. The Holy Spirit is our interpreter, our comforter, our truth. And so when we incline our ear to that Holy Spirit, we get to understand exactly what God is saying. People who say God isn't speaking to me or doesn't talk to me, that is wrong. God is always talking. And it tells us in the Word, you have not because you ask not. God is always speaking, but are you quiet enough? Are you inclining your ear enough? Are you getting alone enough to understand the voice of God, to understand the scent of God, to understand the power of God? Are you doing that? Not only are you doing that, but also are you taking the time to understand that God will answer your questions and your prayers maybe in a way that you don't expect it? And so are you mature enough to take that answered question or that answered prayer and continue to move forward even when it doesn't come in the way that you desire it? I'm speaking this because I want to tell you, a lot of times we blame the enemy for things that is actually the power of God in our lives. It's the power of God directing us and prompting us and leading us. And we say, gosh, why did the enemy come and take that from me? Why did the enemy allow that relationship to fail? That was a good man. But maybe God seen something far more bigger than you could see. And so he said, I'm going to cut this thing off now so you can be blessed later on. I want to tell you, the power of the Holy Spirit is real. And for a long time in the beginning of my walk, I didn't know anything about the Holy Spirit. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand the concept of it. I just knew, hey, Jesus died, so his spirit lives within me. I don't know. So that's something I really didn't know. But as I began to walk with the Lord and I began to seek the Lord, as I began to learn the Lord, guess what happened? I started to become aware of things in my life that wasn't necessarily, that probably was there before, but now I'm aware to see it. So example is, there were times when I wasn't aware of maybe things I would call coincidences. Sometimes I wouldn't, if God woke me up in the middle of the night, I just thought it was me waking up in the middle of the night versus realizing the Spirit is needing to talk to me. Now that I'm aware of that, guess what happens? When I wake up in the middle of the night, guess what happens? The Spirit is talking. The Spirit is louder than ever. So I want to tell you that's something that's probably been happening to me for years. I just never inclined my ear and I never realized what was going on. I wasn't aware enough. I want to tell you, if you want to experience the power of the Holy Spirit in your life, start becoming aware of the Holy Spirit. Spirit just means breath. So that breath of life. So just as we breathe each and every day, sometimes we're aware of it and sometimes we're not. So try to take that idea and tie that into your personal walk with the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, you're always there. Sometimes I'm aware of you and sometimes I'm not. So when I decide to be aware of you more often, guess what happens? I start to see your power, your grace, your miracles, that expectancy, that faith. I start to see it so much more. And so that's what I want to tell you today. The power of the Holy Spirit isn't just for certain Christians, isn't just for preachers and pastors and ministers. The power of the Holy Spirit isn't just for certain people, but any person that has ever said that I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe in what he did for me on that cross, and I believe that I am free of sin. I believe that I have been set free from that bondage through his blood. When we say that, the Holy Spirit houses within us, and it starts to take time, but with knowing it and before you know it, things of that Bible, things of your life, you begin to get another insight. Some of you begin to get prophetic visions. Some of us begin to get certain anointings and words that we have never spoken in our lives, okay? Some of us just get this inner strength, this inner knowledge that is not our own. And that is the power of the Holy Spirit working within us. So I say all that to say, you have the Holy Spirit within you if you believe. Now, stop thinking you don't. Stop thinking it's, you don't have it, but everybody else do. You have it. Now, it's up to you to lean into that, to incline your ear, to look at that Bible and see, do I have the fruits of the Spirit? And if I'm not having it in certain areas, let me pray for that. Because when the Spirit is within you, it brings that out of you. It's going to bring compassion and love and patience. It's going to bring that. And so start to pray for those things, because we shouldn't be content with where we are today. You got to tell God, I want to go deeper. I want to go higher in you. I'm not content with the woman or the man that I am today. I'm not content with this lifestyle. I'm not content with backsliding. I'm not content with these thoughts that I have. I'm not content with falling into pornography. I'm not content to having sex before marriage. I'm not content with my finances. I'm not content with my lifestyle. When you start to tell God, I'm not content and I want to go higher in you. I want to know you better. I want to serve you harder. When you start to say these things to God, that Holy Spirit awakens. That Holy Spirit ignites. It ignites. So I want to tell you today, guys, I pray that the Holy Spirit inside of you is ignited. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Be sure you like, you subscribe. See you later.